Vice President, Secretary Carter, Secretary Mabus, honored members of the United States Navy and Marine Corps, the families of our fallen heroes, ladies and gentlemen. On the morning of July 16, 2015, one chapter of our history came to an end in Chattanooga. The story we had written for ourselves was bold, optimistic, aglow in the warmth of the summer sun. It was forward-looking. We felt satisfied, basking in awards with titles like Best Town Ever. But on July 16, after the first reports of shots fired came, all of us stopped. Terrified, then horrified, then simply exhausted. Without words, we waited. When we received word, when we learned that 5 of our neighbors had been lost, that 5 of the bravest men of the greatest fighting force in the world had been murdered, and that Marines, sailors, and our own police had run into the fire, not from it, but into the fire, we were devastated. What will we do? How would we respond? And most importantly, what will we be like as a city on July 17, and July 18, and the next day, and the next? To all of our honored guests, to the brave men and women of our military and their families, and to the Chattanooga Police Department, I want to tell you this. The very first thing we did was to pray without ceasing in gratitude for each and every one of you. Like most people in our community, I went day after day to the makeshift memorials. They sprung up immediately, a testimony from a city that wished to pay tribute. There, the endless crowds were quiet, respectful, solemn. We walked past the flags in silence, reading and rereading the names of those who died defending our freedom, comforting one another. For days, we held hands as Chattanoogans, children and seniors alike. We attended funerals together. We sat in circles together. We held our breath, and we held each other. And as we did, as we pressed close, we shared one prayer for light, for hope, for a vision and a story that might once more be ours. As a community, we learned names that will forever be bound up in the Chattanooga story. Holmquist, Wells, Sullivan, Wyatt, Smith. Obsessively, we looked for ways to help these families, hoping that some act we could perform might bring relief to their agony. Each day we learned more about the lives tragically cut short. They were sons, husbands, fathers, but they were so much more. Fishermen, flag football players, Dropkick Murphys fans, Eagle Scouts, music lovers. To the families who are here today, although few of us knew your beloved, I want to say on behalf of an entire family, of our entire city, we grieve with each of you. But grief is only part of our story. As days passed, we began to open our eyes. We learned more about the police officers who acted valiantly to end this senseless violence, and we gave thanks for their bravery and their skill. General Dunford, I was there in our police service center with Marine Sergeant Major Spadero as he addressed a lineup ready to head out for patrol. The Sergeant Major told our officers, if I was headed into a firefight, I would want the Chattanooga Police Department to have my back. You should be proud. I am, and we are. And so as one chapter ended, Chattanoogans had changed. The world had come to us. And the question then became, what would we become? Fortunately, even a rewritten history has precedent. 5 millennia ago, another people were cut off from their history by violence. Physically and spiritually exiled, they too wondered in the dark, what would we become? A voice from a prophet promised them there would be no more gloom for those who are in distress. Isaiah wrote in chapter 9, verse 2, "The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned." It is right we remember this story here today, here in Chattanooga, because despite the darkness of the past 30 days, there is yet light. One chapter of our history has ended, but we have begun anew. Even through the darkness, the world has seen our character. And our new day as a city has shown a community that refuses to be torn apart, that understands our essential duty as Americans is to shoulder some of the pay these mourning families must feel, that has shown compassion and unity and love under the most difficult of circumstances. We find no rest in our long night, but we pray, we serve, we listen, we learn. And we do so now in the hope and faith of a people of a summer morning who believe that today and tomorrow there is yet another light on the horizon. It is one city, Chattanooga strong. God bless these families, our great city, and the United States of America.